Well, it was a little bit different. All right. But first, just starting out for today, big shout out to everybody. Happy evening, happy afternoon, happy morning, whatever it may be. Huey Dewey on deck. What's going on, man? And if you watch FP1 and FP2, we're in an authentic weekend for Formula One. And I can't really necessarily say there was a lot to see in the weekend or a lot to see in whatever was going on. It was just kind of there. Free practice was kind of there, going through the progressions. Of course, as some of you might know, what's up, Lord Chaos? Alonso right now is out for the time being. I don't know how long that's going to last, how long he may be out, or if he's going to be coming back for the weekend. But I do know they are prepping Felipe Drugovich just in case. Fortunately, in this about damn time, they should have been doing that to replace Lance Stroll. Like, whatever is damaged or hurting or broken on Alonso has been broken on Lance Stroll. You should have been preparing Felipe Drugovich plenty of times by now. Big shout out to Lord Chaos. Big shout out to Drez, Miss Dino. I see y'all. So FP, let's see. I think we got FP1 right here. You see McLaren's are still pretty much doing their damn thing. I do think this is probably going to be a bit more of a dominant track. Now, given it is just free practice 2, you take a little bit more from that than you take from free practice 1. But FP3 is where you get a little bit more of a less foggy picture. Qualifying is where we're going to get more of a clear picture of what kind of race we're going to have on our hands for Sunday. Ferrari, just kind of looking like Ferrari right now. I do think possibly maybe car looks a little bit more stable. We are going to looking at Hadjar in the 4th in FP1. And then you can pretty much go, Verstappen, he's sitting back there. He's not going to stay there. Let's just keep it a buck. Verstappen is not going to stay there the entire time. You should know that. And then Aston Martin shows up to the party, FP2. Ferrari, pretty much where they've been. McLaren, where they've been. Mercedes is about where I think I expect them to be, given the temperature. As you see right there, temperature, 26.8. So, yes, going to be a bit warmer. We'll see. I did hear that there possibly may be some rain moving into the area, so we will see about that. And as far as it goes with teams bringing updates, well, there's a lot of gaps there. So we will go into McLaren has not declared anything. Go down a little bit further. Ferrari not declaring anything. We know they just finished bringing a big whopper of an update not too long ago. But this is where they're finally going to get an opportunity to prove this. And as we go into Red Bull Racing, they got a front wing, longer cord front wing. Again, Red Bull with the front wing situation. And we see that they're not saying that they're adhering to a regulation. I still would like a little bit more clarity on what regulation they were adhering to previously in Belgium, given that everybody else made their front wing adjustments according to the regulations that came out a while ago. Then they got the front corner reliability, enlarged, reprofiled scoop, intake, and exit duct. So Red Bull still messing around with the front wing. I still want to know in what regards the front wing was being messed around with to the point it was attached to a regulation that was not listed. Kind of funny there. I think we already expect Red Bull to be on some funny business. Then as we go to good old Petronas Mercedes, they are declaring nothing. So Mercedes is declaring nothing. But Aston Martin, as they're kind of sitting up at the top, Aston Martin has declared one, and it is specific to the circuit. It's balance range, a new, more aggressive front wing flap for the new front wing introduced at the last event. So Aston Martin bringing a little bit. So we'll be trying to keep an eye on Aston Martin to see if they have more of an improved qualifying as well as a race. But more than anything, we're going to be paying attention to Aston Martin if Felipe Drugovich is actually in the race. Because what we want to see is how is he in race trim after sitting in the garage for so long after winning an F2 championship. So I'm really going to be looking and paying attention to that. BWT Alpine is bringing nothing. So there's a lot of empty space, a lot of paperwork not being filled out or completed. MoneyGram, nothing. Now we come to Visa Cash App. and they are bringing 2 front corner and the cooling louvers. They're going to update the front corner surface. They're going to enlarge louver panels, and that likely, yes, for cooling range. It increased. Temperatures are a bit up here, so they're going to increase that cooling range in that car, try to keep that thing from exploding, blowing up, or burning to the ground. Galactus, what's going on in the super chat? Come to the next team, and they are bringing nothing. And this is one of the areas that we talked about last time, at least I was concerned about, due to the verbiage of Williams and Carlos Sainz and Albon and James Vowles. I thought that pretty much that was going to be the last time we see Williams bring something pretty significant to change their fortune or their performance in this season. I think Williams is done. A large part of their focus is now going to be on the 2026 car with the 2026 regulations and hopefully to improve much. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Williams comes out 2026 and it's a dud. I am going to be a bit kind of sour, almost comparable to when Saquon Barkley decided not to go for that rushing record and only having like 150 or under 200 yards. You damn sure should have went for that record. You should have got it. And if Williams comes out a dud in 2026, you damn sure should have competed as hard as you could in 2025. Okay, because I don't want to see, let's withdraw, let's go ahead and dial back, smash everything, let's focus on next season, and then you come out next season and it doesn't look as good as this season started to look. So yeah, I will be a bit petty on that with Williams because I do want to see them do well. I want to see Williams do well. Now, as also part of this weekend with news this weekend is going to be related to, of course, going to be talking about Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen decides to come out and put pretty much a silence, so-called, to the rumors of his contractual talks or move to Mercedes. They're still talking. Neither one of them deny that they're talking about this. Max nor Toto deny it. You know, Max tries to make a little cheeky comment about if my boat is parked next to Toto, my boat is parked next to Toto's. I don't know why it could end up in the same place. This is a whole different level of balling, right? Millions of dollars, yachts, supercars. You know, this you pretty much chill where you chill, but come on. Y'all both, all the talk, end up in the same area, park right next to each other. Like, stop it, man. Now, he did say that he was going to be with Red Bull next year, but what about 2027? What about 2028? So, I think the way he answered these questions didn't say that the talks haven't been happening, didn't say that they have not had some type of contractual conversations about the outline or the construction of what that deal would look like. And Max is no dummy when it comes to him trying to be sure that he's in the most competitive car. But he's going to try to survey and see where things are. And if there is something to be learned about Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari, it is that a team may tell you that they're going to be as competitive as they can be and they're going to bring a rocket ship. But will they? No, Ferrari has not. Okay, so it's some work to be done. But I do think after this weekend, I think is going to give me a little bit more either encouragement or discouragement as far as what Ferrari really is going to look like by the end of the season. And like I say, you take very little from free practice. But yes, Max is definitely in contract talks with Toto, in my opinion. And although he says he'll be with Red Bull in 2026, that's 2026. And I don't know what all Red Bull is going to bring that are going to sway Max into thinking that staying is the best opportunity for him versus moving on. I think he kind of already wants to move on anyway, in my opinion. I don't really get a large sense from Max. Like I said before, he's mentioned it plenty of times before that he's going to want to go somewhere else, do something else. So I don't think that that's going to change, in my opinion. So as it comes to Budapest, we're looking at, tires, traction, compound, C3, C4, C5, not the C6. And we already know the C6 tire bit on the sensitive side when it comes to certain things. And glad they don't have that tire there. So it is going to be interesting to see what the tire strategy is going to be, especially in qualifying. We'll get an opportunity to kind of see where the teams are as far as what they think is the most optimal tire for them to be on, given that last stint and that last push when things are, not only kind of settling in for some teams, but are still up in the air for maybe even some front-running teams and some mid-pack teams. So how they do in qualifying tomorrow, is going to arrange what tire and what compound they're going to go on and where they think they're going to be most competitive. And it is possible that we do get some inclement weather coming in this weekend. And if that does happen, then you already know that kind of throws things off. I do know that Lance Stroll was asked that question in regards to their car being competitive. Did he feel like you were depending on inclement weather in order for you all to have a shot? And, Lance Stroll went into his la-da-da kind of, he just kind of goes off and talks kind of into, it just doesn't, sometimes it's just like, what the hell are you talking about? But that's Lance Stroll. I don't really think it doesn't really seem like he's heavily involved in Formula One to me, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Hadjar has some displeasure with Russell. Carlos Sainz lost his telemetry and his radio capability for some time. Galactus in the super chat says, do you think Valtteri Bottas will drive for Cadillac in 2026? Bro, that conversation is heating up, and his name is coming up quite a bit around Cadillac, as well as Sergio Perez. Danny Rick's name has kind of been falling off by the wayside, and I'm glad, to be honest. I don't think Danny Rick is ready to drive for anybody. I just think he needs to chill, maybe go do something else. But Valtteri Bottas is definitely, his name keeps coming up in those conversations, and I think it is a high possibility that he does. And I'm gonna give you a good reason why I think that is, Galactus, my brother. Valtteri Bottas is fucking marketable, man. He is marketable. He does good commercials. His character, his persona, it comes across, it translates well on TV for what we call white humor, right? And I like it. I like white. Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, Office Space. He's funny. He's funny in a nonchalant way. Valtteri Bottas is marketable. And if anything that U.S. people love is we love comedy. And Valtteri Bottas can bring you comedy. I like his commercials, although it's not like he's overly animated, but his persona works. And I could totally see Valtteri Bottas, Cadillac, U.S. team doing well. Insured Frames dropping off some of the best gifts that you can get in the world, and that is Wolfpack memberships. We got Razor, we got D1, we got Zanando, we got Zach, we got Jags. Big shout out to you. Thank Insured Frames. Big shout out to Insured Frames dropping those Wolfpack memberships in the chat, man. That is what I'm talking about. Welcome to the family. By way of the family, Insured Frames checking in from good old Florida, man. Big shout out to Insured Frames too, man. Been around for a while. Blue badge. He will probably be a purple badge soon coming up. I don't think you'll fall off from purple badge. We're gonna see about that, but for sure, big shout out to Insured Frames. But yeah, Valtteri, another name we keep hearing is Sergio Perez. And I definitely think, so I think Sergio and Valtteri together, I think that seems pretty good. Both characters, personalities, they don't seem like they will conflict. Doesn't seem like they will bring any type of negativity to a team or an environment. They both have a good wealth of knowledge on themselves in top and low performing teams. So I think that could be good for Cadillac because you have two concrete drivers. You have two drivers that have been part of bringing teams championships. One driver, part of bringing the team into their era of having 8 consecutive championships by way of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. So you're solid. You got another driver who, if we debate, has done the best job of any other driver in a number 2 car that is completely an ass to handle. And that's Sergio Perez and Danny Rick. Everybody else has had a plethora of trouble aside from what it seems to be. It could be. I'm not saying this undoubtedly, but it seems like Mekis has brought something to the team that Christian Horner did never bring. He campaigned and fought for Yuki to get the updates fair and square. It seems like Yuki may be doing a better job since Mekis has entered the team. I'm just keeping it a buck. So it's going to be interesting to see what Yuki's back half of the season looks like, given his performance continues. And I do like what I'm seeing from Yuki right now. So I'm really interested to see how that's going to go because I think Yuki finished in front of Max Verstappen. I mean, it's still free practice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, this is not, oh, this means a lot. It's kind of like when Antonelli was on pace to have the fastest time before he wrecked and spun the car out because he didn't know how to bring it up properly and he got a little ahead of himself. But I do think Yuki in FP2, yes, was in front of Max Verstappen. So ninth, while Max was in 14th, both drivers bringing up some concerns about the balance of the car. We already know when it comes to Max Verstappen, he's going to bring up concerns when it seems like he's not going to do well. That's not the case this time. Both drivers had similar concerns about the balance of the car. Yuki saying it was messy. Max also expletives across the radio after already being told to watch why everybody being told pretty much to watch what you're saying during the televised events. Max blows that out of water. GP is back this weekend. Whatever may have been going on with him, I hope that everything is well with GP and his family. So yeah, that is that. Also, I do want to bring about something that I thought was kind of like, I wasn't overly excited about it, but I said, could be something good happening. Valtteri Bottas, Perez, cool. Any U.S. drivers on the... No, man. Galactus, and that's a little unfortunate, brother, that you bring this up. You're bringing up some good questions in the Super Chat, by the way. I really wish there were, right? And if there are any names that are in that hat, they've been extra quiet about it. They've been extra discreet about it because I haven't heard. I thought Colton Herter would be a name for sure that would be about in that talk. I thought Colton Herter, I thought Felipe Drugovich would even be in there, given that he's done some work in partnership with Cadillac and another company. But I haven't heard their names, either of those names, circulating around this as much as Valtteri and Perez. And you know what we all say, we tend to understand and we tend to learn where there's smoke, there's fire. And usually when you hear a certain amount of names, a certain amount of times brought up with a certain company, usually those are likely some of the candidates, if not the candidate. So I do wish, I know some names I don't want to hear, some names I don't want brought up. Dale Earnhardt, for one, please don't do that. Dale, stay where you are. You good where you are. You living life, enjoying yourself. Another name, I definitely don't want to hear shit about Logan Sargent. No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. Whatever you do not do that. Call me before you do that. Whatever you get with Logan Sargent, you're going to get a lot more with me. One, I'm probably going to fuck up a lot because I've never driven a Formula One car, but that in itself is more marketable and brings more news to the A block than Logan Sargent will bring you. And that's not good, So I'm just saying, like, if you're going to call Logan, call me. If you're going to call Logan, shit, call Jamie Chadwick. I'm betting on her before I bet on Logan Sargent, no Sergeant Logan. I'm just saying, don't do that. So, yeah, I don't want to hear his name brought up at all. Please don't do that, Cadillac. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, just fucking don't do it, please. I'm telling you, please don't do that. That'd be horrible. I'd be disappointed. First out the gate, that it's ruined. It's over. It's over. But something, like I was talking about that I thought was pretty interesting today that I paid attention to during free practice, and that is a radio transmission by Lewis Hamilton and his engineer. And that radio transmission was something like this. It was literally Lewis asked, sorry, another second ahead again, or 7/10, correct 1 second. But then Lewis asked, where is this time? Where is the 1 second? Turns 5, 8, and 9 are the main losses. This is the asking and receiving. That's asking and receiving. And that is technically what we want to see. That is what we want to hear. A good amount of continuity, understanding each other, communicating well, and that communication, therefore, helping the driver with his performance. And that, thank you. We already know about the new engineer brought in, or the engineer brought into that position, people feeling like that was a catalyst for some change that might be looking up, and it very well may be as well. And I just thought that this in also comparison, not in comparison, but in combination of what me and Miss Dino talked about, I think it was, I want to say yesterday or the day before yesterday, me and Miss Dino were having a conversation in regards to how Lewis was feeling and the new engineer and all that stuff. And I was saying that you just got to be careful about Lewis feeling happy. It could be one way and then another way. But I think this kind of just added another block of, are things really starting to transform as Lewis is calling them to the table, as Fred Vasseur's got his contract and he's been calling them to the table, as things seem like they might be changing. So like I said, I'm going to be using this event along with the next one to really get a firm thought on, yeah, I feel like Ferrari's really on good pace, or it was a mirage. It seemed like it was going to, and then kind of felt kind of like when you put a cake in the oven and you go in there, you let people stomp in there, open, close the damn oven door, and the shit falls. I want to see if it's that. It starts rising, but then it falls. So let's hope that this cake, this Ferrari cake, is rising and it's gonna be able to rest out. That was interesting today, because for the first time, literally for me, for the first time, I didn't cringe at the radio transmission. There was nothing faulty or nothing questionable about the radio transmission. Lewis asked a very distinct question. He asked for information. That information was given to him at the best of its ability. It was just that alone and concise, and it was done. That's exactly what he needs. Where is that 1 second? That's what I need to know. Not all the babbling bullshit. Not all about somebody else. And no, not radio quiet silence because you don't know shit. Turn 5, turn 8, and 9 are the main losses. Work on that. We can see where we go from there. Get better in those turns, and we can see what else we got left on the table, and we'll spot that out. I thought that was good, because up until now, radio transmissions have been cringy as hell, if not more disappointing. So that was a positive takeaway from free practice for Ferrari for me. Okay, so yeah, and everybody else is just everybody else. I don't know if Piastri is going to necessarily outperform Lando here. Not sure about that this time around. We will have qualifying, which we know Piastri can become a dog in qualifying, and it's not like they're separated by that much. But we already know Piastri can be a dog, and we already know this. Lando cracks under pressure, and Piastri's going to apply that pressure. We've seen him. We've seen Piastri do an overtake through a chicane, my guy. I mean, if that wasn't damn near like shit, he'll do it. So Lando's going to be under pressure, and he doesn't do well under pressure. So unless Lando gets out free air and he's got a major 6 second gap between him and Piastri, he's not safe. And Piastri will make sure that if I have the opportunity, I'm getting you out of the way. And I'm cool with it. So big shout out Galactus in the super chat. Hopefully it will get smoother with Lewis Hamilton's engineer. I hope so too. I do hope so too. Indeed, I do hope so. People don't understand. Some people don't understand. I'm pretty sure majority of everybody here understands. Communication is key. Communication means a lot, even between two parties that may disagree with one another. Understanding between each other can actually yield positive results. Two people that don't necessarily agree with one another, who have to work together, but can communicate effectively, can actually get a lot of shit done. But when communication is broken, there's very little that you're going to get done or get done correctly. So big shout out, Lord Chaos Darth popping up in the live chat as well. So yeah, man, we'll see what happens. We got FP3 tomorrow. We will be here live for qualifying tomorrow as well. So make sure you are in the house, because you know how we get for qualifying. We turn the F up, and that is exactly what we're going to do. I do think this is going to be a good race weekend. To a degree, because I'm going to tell you, the Hungarian to me is, I don't want to necessarily say be boring, but can get boring. So yeah, Yuki seems, super chat by Galactus says, Yuki seems like he is getting some. Yes, I agree. Galactus, I full-heartedly agree. Yuki seems different, doesn't he? He seems a bit more enjoyable. He seems a bit more like refreshed. And there it goes again, not only communication, but the right support. Matter of fact, my son was just talking about quarterbacks and players who go to different teams and finally get with an organization who knows how to help you become a better player versus an organization that is just depending on you being the best player is two different environments that give you two different results. And now that the Red Bull environment has changed, I wonder if it's not that great for Max Verstappen, because it's not only about Max Verstappen and do this for Max Verstappen and kiss Max Verstappen gold shoes and build a car for Max Verstappen and let Max Verstappen daddy in everywhere you want to go. And it's more about we need this entire team to be top fucking notch. We need both drivers to bring fucking points. What is that going to take? What does that look like? It doesn't look like just building a car for Max. We need to build a car that works for everybody at a good pace and marginally throughout the rest of the team. Maybe he's good at some circuits. He is pretty much what McLaren have. A performing car that's fast that both of these drivers can compete in. Some tracks better for Norris, a lot more tracks better for Oscar because he's a dog, but we still see a trade-off going back and forth somewhat. You're not getting that with Red Bull. You get that even with lower teams a bit more than you do with Red Bull. That's because you became Max-centric and you screwed yourself. And now that the environment has changed, Christian Horner's gone. Wheatley's gone. And Wheatley's over there, Sauber, trying to resurrect a damn dead animal, but it might happen. You know, it's just a lot of things gone. And now there's a new regime coming in place. Remember, I had the conversation. Now, I know we're not becoming Red Bull supporters. Some of you said you can't do it. But I do wonder if some of you all might change your tune. But we know Red Bull is a company. I ain't changing because Red Bull is a company and did some faulty shit. I'll need to see a lot more than just a winning team and Yuki. I'm going to support Yuki. Yuki good. Hadjar good. I'm cool with all that. But Red Bull is a company. I'm not buying your drinks. I'm not buying your clothes. I'm not going to buy your merchandise. None of that shit unless it comes in a box of cards or something. I'm not doing it. But yeah, that I agree, Galactus. There does seem to be a revitalizing of Yuki Tsunoda right now in the Red Bull camp. And like I said, I'm going to be watching Yuki for the back half of this career, back half of the season, trying to see where that goes from there. So, yeah, good point on that for sure. Good point out on that as well. But, yeah, I like Yuki. I like Hadjar. There are several drivers that have been through Red Bull that I like. I like Sergio. You know, it ain't that I don't like, you know, a Red Bull driver. I just don't care for Red Bull, and they earned that. They earned for us not to care about them. Just like Donald Trump has earned to be a dumbass and a dickhead. That's just true. I mean, he's sitting there chilling with Epstein. Everybody, oh, that's okay. He's a felon. Oh, that's okay. He commits crimes. Oh, that's okay. He's pro-crime in some ways. Oh, that's okay. He incites a damn insurrection in January 6th against the Capitol, which is basically an act of war in America, which I serve. Oh, that's okay. He pardons people that broke the law and broke in. And oh, that. Now, listen, man, that's it's like, damn. How much is okay with a team or a person before it is not okay? So, yeah, Red Bull have earned it. And until they just come out and really show a change of genre, I just don't care for Red Bull as a entity. I don't. I mean, and a lot of people that they employed had those same ways. Christian Horner, Mr. I can't keep my hands to myself, Mr. F. Lewis Hamilton, I want to ride him like a horse, Max Verstappen, with his crybaby, petulant child actions on track, running people off track, thinking he should give everything under the sun, and if it's not, it ain't right. It's just, you know, that birds of a feather flock together, easily short and said. There you go. So we will be back tomorrow, okay? We will be back tomorrow. Y'all make sure you're here because I want to see you here because we're going to have a good time. All right, Wolfpack out. Drink water, stay healthy. Peace.